Hello, good morning everyone. Myself, Dr. A. Jafar Sadiq Ali, Professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering of Sri Muthukumar Institute of Technology, Chennai. Today, I'm going to handle the subject of IoT concepts and applications of subject code OCS 352. It comes under Regulation R21 of Anna University. In this video, we are going to see about the Unit 2, that is IoT components. Let me walk through the course objective of the Unit 2 is to teach a student how to analyze requirements of various communication modules and various protocols for cost-effective design of IoT applications on different IoT platforms. So the objective of this course is mainly to come to know that what are the communication modules are available and also what are the network protocols are available to in order to design a cost-effective applications in various platforms. That's the objective. And the course outcome of after the student to come to know that he understands the communications models and also various protocols for IoT, which he will be using for developing the applications. So this unit 2 is comprised of the following syllabuses: functional blocks of an IoT ecosystem, sensors, actuators, smart objects, control units, and then communication modules, which comprises of the following: Bluetooth, Zigbee, Wi-Fi module, GPS, GSM modules. Now we are going to see the things one by one. Let's start with that functional blocks of an IoT ecosystem. So we all know that what is IoT, Internet of Things. What is ecosystems means how this IoT is going to work with this system. What are the components needed to make this IoT to be a fruitful one? That's what this function blocks. What's the basic blocks of this system? We are going to see that the IoT ecosystem is a complete system that connects physical devices to the internet so that they can collect, share, and use and analyze the data for various purposes. It depends upon the applications as well as the user requirements. It basically includes sensors and actuators in the device layer, which interact with the physical environment by measuring conditions like, say, for example, temperature, light, or motion, or humidity, or whatever it may be. These devices send the collected information or data through communication network, that's through gateways like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or GSM, or other wireless technologies. So the collected data is securely transferred to the cloud. Next, the cloud platform stores the data, process the data, and perform some analysis to generate useful information to make an informed decisions like how by seeing the trend analysis. Then also the application users can access this information through mobile applications or web dashboards to monitor and as well as control the devices remotely. The most important thing is security mechanisms such as encryption of data and decryption of data and authentication of data. Everything this plays a vital role at the every stage of communications. Overall, the IoT ecosystems enable smart applications like smart homes, smart agriculture, healthcare monitoring, etc. etc. Let us see this IoT ecosystems. See, the bottom line is device layer, which comprises of in the left hand side you see the sensor as well as actuator doing the operation of sensing as well as the actuating the operation of the mechanical output. So this is what the device is all about: sensors sensing the parameters, and actuators doing the action oriented thing. And also there are some monitoring and control functions are available which will be constantly applied to this. And next the layer comes out is nothing but the communication layer. Communication nothing but wherein the data will be passed over through the gateway through Wi-Fi Zigbee module or a Bluetooth module or whatever the module available. And after this communication module, the services come into picture. The services module, nothing but it has various operations like data management, data cleaning, data um, services, all those things. And left hand side we have the management also, and right hand side you see that security. I think applications. This is consists of confidentiality of the data that is passed over to the cloud, and integrity of the data has to be maintained, and availability of the data with the proper authentication only should be available to the particular user. That's what the security is all about. And finally, the top layer is nothing but the application layer, wherein every data is being analyzed using some logic, and the data can be either viewed based on the roles, and some users based on their roles can do the control operations also through the use of the user interface GUI. So this is what all about function blocks of an IoT ecosystems. That's another perspective of the IoT ecosystem, nothing but IoT devices. See the top IoT devices through the network, the sensing data will be passed on through. Then it has proper security systems also. With the security, if at all if it get passed, then only it will pass to the gateway. Through gateway, it will go to the cloud. Then in the cloud, there are so many operations has been happening, and through the from the cloud, the application will take the data and you make use of the data by using this. Some big data analytics technologies are there, cloud computing technologies are there, or various technologies are there. And finally, the end user will get the necessary informations. These are the function blocks. And this is what the thing which we have explained so far. Sensors and actuators blocks serves as a data entry point in IoT systems. Sensors collect data from their surroundings, whereas actuators drive physical processes. And see the last point, these gadgets work together to collect data and operate in the physical world. The next one is communication connectivity block is something, but after this block has been collected, data has been sent to the rest of the system. The connectivity block is in charge of creating and managing communication channels among IoT devices with the help of several technologies like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. This be also told already. And data processing block, nothing but this block is in charge of filtering out noise as well as irrelevant data and converting the raw data into a readable, usable, internet usable format only, and the user readable format only, which will be converting the data. And the application data blocks matter is the component of our system gives the value to the end user. This is the main end user applications wherein they will get the information what they want it through some specified functions or services. So nothing but an example is that is to provide the insights into the energy usage in a building or to adjust the temperature in a greenhouse. Security blocks I told. Okay, proper authentication only we can handle the information with the data encryption also. And next one is sensors and actuators. This is the most important thing. So what is sensors and actuators? Both are transducers only. Sensors get the input data and senses data and process it, do some signal processing, and given the proper control signal to the actuator. From the actuator, the mechanical output will be uh, get into the next level. See here, these are the sample examples of sensors like camera sensor, color sensor, current sensor, DHL temperature and humidity sensor, ultrasonic sensor, and so many sensors are available. You can go through it one by one. This is a classic example of a sensors in a smartphone, how it will be. You can go through touchscreen. We all know the touchscreen, right? Light sensor, touchscreen sensor, fingerprint sensor. All those things are available in this. And proximity sensor, everything you must be aware of it. And see here, global positioning system also is available. Okay. And sensing types classification are there, passive and as well as active. And that means another classification as analog as well as digital. And there is another classification like scalar and vector. So what is passive sensor? Accelerometer, soil moisture, water level sensor, and temperature sensor. These are the passive sensor, which means it cannot independently sense the input. It needs some independent. Active sensors independently sense the input like radar, sounder, laser, altimeter sensors. Whereas the next classification is analog sensor. The response or output of sensor is sometimes continuous function of its input parameter, continuous functions like pressure sensor, temperature sensor, all those things. And the other type is digital sensor, wherein the analog will be converted to digital format. So PIR sensor and digital temperature sensor. Analog temperature sensor will have the analog value, whereas if you have an analog to digital converter inside the your control unit, you will be having digital control temperature sensor. And next one type is scalar sensors, vector sensor. What is scalar sensor means? A man only magnitude only depends upon the magnitude it will be doing the operations. Whereas vector sensor means it will have the both magnitude as well as direction of the parameter. So the output will be based on the both amplitude as well as direction. Then only it will work out. Say for example, scalar sensor is temperature, gas sensor, smoke sensor. Whereas vector sensor is nothing but accelerometer, gyroscope, motion directometer, all those things. And still there are so many sensors available. Types electrical sensor, light sensor, touch sensor. Touch sensor is nothing but your fingerprint sensor, touch screen also. Wherever you have touch screen facility, you have this sensor. And the most predominantly used is high precision type is capacitive type only because they're more accurate and have better signal to noise ratio. And there's another sensor called mechanical sensor and range sensor depends upon the short range or long range. Okay, it has a effect on its value. And pneumatic sensor is nothing but the air flow. Okay, and optical sensor is nothing but a breaking of a light beam fall which falls onto a light sensitive device such as photocell. So these are nothing but the optical sensor. There are various, this self-explanatory, you can go through it. And speed sensor, obviously we know, wind speed sensor, speedometers, all those things, we know that already. Temperature sensor is nothing but depends upon the level of temperature, voltage will be directly proportional to this. And PIR is something but passive infrared sensors. It depends, it mainly used for tracking as well as measurement of infrared radiating from the object. It's mainly used to direct the either which is human motion or animal motions. Ultrasonic sensor already we know based on the principle of sonar, okay, or radar. It's work based on the high frequency sound waves. So it's used to measure the distance. So that's how we see about the sensors. Now we are going to see about the actuators. Actuators nothing but just the opposite of the sensors. This accepts the electrical signal as input and it gives the mechanical as output. And see for example, based on the sensing value of the temperature, okay, the controller making decisions, and if temperature goes to a certain level above, then the actuator, that means cooling fan has to start working through the help of the actuator. And again we have so many types hydraulic actuator. Okay, it's all comes under mechanical only, but hydraulic and pneumatic both varieties are there. Hydraulics works based on the fluid present in the cylinder. Okay, whereas the pneumatic was worked on based on the either vacuum or compressed air pressure. So these are the two main actuators. There are some other actuators also available like electrical actuators, that is motor, and thermal and magnetic actuators are also available. It works based on the mechanical energy or thermal energy. And mechanical actuator is nothing but the crankshaft of an engine. So these are the main topics which we have covered so far is functional blocks of an IoT ecosystems, and we have covered sensor, what is sensor and what is its types, and the third one is actuators, what is actuator and what are the types of the actuators. So in the next, these are the references of textbooks as well as reference books also for your reference. Thank you.